Guess who's back? Welcome. Welcome. I am the chief NFT strategist, gang in the building. Hello, everyone. I'm excited about this show today. I got a rock star coming on, and I'll let you, I'll let him tell you who he is, and I'm looking forward to that. Today been a little crazy. Interview meeting. That is my life nowadays. I remember at one point a few years ago, I was thinking that I was on the path to nirvana. I was just going to be relaxing, not doing much work. But now I am back on the grind, putting in 12, 15-hour days. And it is what it is. I'm working for something bigger than me, so I got to put in that work. So let me get this guy on. Hold on one second. Let me bring him in. Hold on. Evan,
Yes, sir.
you hear me? What's up, man?
Not too much, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Listen, y'all, this is an amazing human being first and a sharp mind, but I don't want to, take too much away from him. I will start off by asking Evan, won't you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are, what you do, and first off, thank you for coming and joining the show.
Of course, man. I'm like looking behind you, like, all right, so I could get some Casamigos right now. Get me some 1942. Evan Leaphart. I am the founder and CEO of Kiddie Kredit. Kiddie Kredit, in short tracking app that teaches kids about credit, where the premise is better kid does their chores, better their credit score. In my journey and learning a lot about tech, where I learned, which you'll hear, I'm certain, through our conversations today from brilliant minds like Brian, realized that I wanted to be a part of something that helped others too. So I created the Black Men Talk Tech Conference, and I am in Miami.
Awesome. And why Kitty Credit? I mean, what is it about that? Once you dig a little bit deeper into why you came up with the concept.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was that kid that had a bunch of brilliant ideas. Well, so I thought, brilliant ideas, right? And I never really had the resources to get these things off the ground. So I made mistakes early on. Like a lot of us, you turn 18, you get that first credit card and you just max it out. And then you've made your entire like next 7 to 10 years of your life incredibly difficult. So it made it tough to get a loan, made it tough to get a line of credit, a mortgage, anything. And when I really started to evaluate it, I was like, I didn't learn about this earlier. It was really only because I had to figure out how to correct it. So everything out there nowadays is always this corrective approach, nothing really preventative. So I was like, how could we start the conversation earlier? Credit is really just centered around having better habits. So I was like, chores is a very good correlation to better, habits. So habit driven was kind of the, how do we change habits early so that way later on you make better decisions.
Yeah. Now, so talk a little bit. I mean, how long have you been at this? Give us like your best moments, and then some of the big growing pains for you. And you can talk. I'll be right back. I can hear you. I'm just running to get my cord because my power is running out. So go ahead.
Yep.
You can start talking.
I was doing the same thing. I switched. For me, uh, I would say I've been at this since 2018, like technically, but the idea was in my head for a decade. So I ran, I was fortunate enough to run across a buddy of mine that had actually built an app from scratch. And he was a non-technical founder, which if you're somebody that's trying to develop an app and you're not the CTO, you're going to need to find a developer. So I always thought it was impossible because I didn't have any like developer friends like near me. And, it just seemed like something that was going to cost tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I didn't really get a chance to start on this journey till 2018. So just starting on it, knowing that I've had it in my head since like 2010 was like a really good step in the right direction. And then I would say, another big moment was when Equifax partnered with us in 2020, a little over a year now. Time flies.
Wow, wow, wow. And so, funny story. I actually started my app in 2015, and I met Evan when I moved to Miami. And I actually remember when he started Kiddie Kredit, and I remember you had it written down on a piece of paper, and I was like, man. And the crazy thing, Evan, is that when you tell people you're starting an app, right? Everybody want to be, I'm starting an app too, and they don't realize how much work and how much effort goes into it. So when people come up to me, I don't really take everybody serious because I'm like, listen, y'all, do you really want to do this? So when you first came up to me, I didn't, I was just thinking, okay, he just wrote this down. He's not really going to do this. And the next thing you know, you just went, phew, and you've been killing it, man. So I applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud you. Um, God, that pause is a little bit too long. I gotta shorten that up. But anyway, so now talk about that journey as a Black tech founder.
Um, Man, you just realize how much you start at a different playing field, right? Like you'll know it's things that I can ramble off now, and I'm certain I'm going to go along the way, and companies like way this will be the early stage. I'm like, man, I remember when I thought I knew this, but I didn't even know anything about this. So you always like level up along the way. But the difference about a Black founder versus just some of our counterparts that have more resources or people closer to them that have like can share an experience is you lose so much time on things that like could be found out so quickly, right? Like it took me like a whole year to actually understand what a safe was, right? Which is for some that may not know, right? It's like a simple investment vehicle, or like the different types of fundraising. Like, or do you even have a business that like is venture backed, right? Like people see us raising money and then like they have like a barbershop and they're seeking out venture capital. Like that's not what this is for, right? Or like, so and then just from a product standpoint, right? Like I thought I had this whole because I had an idea, I thought I was like this close, right? And you don't even have an MVP, you don't have wireframes, you don't have basic sketches. Um so this is a Black founder a lot of times like if we don't have the right people around us in the beginning to help us like skill up fast, we just spend a lot of time like falling forward, hopefully not backwards, like trying to figure it out. And if you don't have the patience, like you may not even get it that far.
No, and I think one thing you master, and obviously you probably don't think you master, but I look at you and I think you master. You actually have figured out how to speed things up and to get into certain rooms to give yourself the opportunity to kind of catch up or to get information that can be helpful and useful in you developing and growing your company. So definitely just kind of want, can you talk to that a little bit as far as like how that process has been for you as far as figuring it out? Not necessarily like you could game plan and map out certain things, but some things you only going to find out until you do it. So talk a little bit about how you've been able to kind of master getting the information much quicker when the resources aren't as available to a Black founder.
Yeah, I think you just got to stay a student. Like that's easier said than done because like we get a little bit of things and then we like, yeah, like you can't tell me nothing. And it's like I'm really not. I try not to be that way. Like I the same person that asked you like how do you build an app is asking like the same type of questions today. It's just, it might be about like a different type of topic, but it's like if you stay a student, people are willing to like help those types of people, and I've done sales for like if I wasn't an entrepreneur, I was always had like a sales job, so I always kind of teetered between both worlds. So there's definitely that element that helps, like with networking and things like that. But more than anything, is really just ask like trying to like ask the right questions and not be like overzealous and be somebody that like people want to help, and like just an incredible amount of patience, man. Like when you're working on something that you like nothing else matters, like you'll take a little like the BS from like
Yeah.
some know-it-all for a hot second, like just to like be like, this is for the better of the project, like whatever. And you just I don't know. And then like you just like by me trying to make sure that I'm not like a full taker and like giving back in some sort, I feel like there's this universal balance that like allows us to continue on our path. I mean, it also helps too that like our concept is like positive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't know if I had like if I was developing like bookshelves, if I would get as much support, you know. But so I know that helps too. But yeah, I think it's just a combination of different things.
Yeah, I mean, and one, like you said, you're helping the kids. I mean, that is, you can't get more positive than that. Uh, but so transition a little bit. You said something key, like when you're trying to make grounds and do something new, you got to humble yourself, and you got to be like, you got to be willing to learn, and you got to be, present yourself in a way where people do want to help you. And that's kind of my journey currently, not only as a tech founder, but now entering into the NFT space. So I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on, what are your thoughts on NFTs in general?
Well, first off, Bar Gang, super cool. Been seeing it from afar, man. I know what it's like to like really like have to build up these communities. I'm a big NFT guy, so like I don't even know if I could like go through that whole path myself. I just buy them. But like I get fun by them.
Smart, you're smart.
But yeah, but the I definitely think there's a lot of room for growth in it, you know, and it's definitely there's definitely going to be some projects that like when we look back are like, man, you know. But like if the people kind of like if you look at the premise of what an NFT is based on, those things last. Like if you genuinely focus on building a community, not just saying you're building it and like creating a Discord and like
Right.
mass promoting, like if you're actually like building stuff, then why not have some sort of digital representation that shows this is the group that I identify, these are the qualities that I identify, and then be able to see a project take off and then be able to like be vested in its success financially too. I think that's what you see kind of with like what the apes created and CryptoPunks, originally, and then you're seeing now like a lot of the older NFT projects starting to get their shine. So it's that whole like Wagami, we all gonna make it thing is like it's
Right.
cool when you see it in action. When people are like, all right, look, I just sold, I had 5 board apes, I just sold one for 80 ETH. Like let me like what other projects can I help uplift? And then you see these moments where a developer was just hoping stuff would work, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden a Steve Aoki comes out of nowhere and buys it, and then you take off.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I'll never forget. I was following one project, and sales started really, really slow. And they tweeted one day, we had 500 sales overnight. And like you said, just that unknown, like all it takes is one thing and bam, you take off. And they recently just sold out, I think like 8,000 pieces of their collection. So it's an amazing experience. Now, um, Tag, you said something about, oh, I know what I want to ask you. So with you creating cutting edge technology with Kiddie Kredit, do you foresee you entering the NFT world with your company? Do you see that like NFTs have any type of involvement in what you're doing?
Yeah, we're actually working on something. So like I can't like announce it yet, but it'll be pretty cool. It's simple. It's not like but it's kind of it's testing the waters to see how far we go down that world. But yeah, it's something I'm pretty excited about. And it's just
Awesome.
it's developer, you know what I mean? Like everybody's pretty accessible, some are docs, some are like, relatively unknown folks, but like then you can just, like it's a big creator economy right now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's dope. It's dope. Dope. Web3. Yeah, it's dope. So what's next? To wrap up, I know you're a busy person. What's next for Evan, Kiddie Kredit? Um, what's next? This is 2022. What you got going on?
It's a new year, same me. Uh, but I think the thing that I would focus on is Kiddie Kredit's always been this preteen product, right? Like we know no teen wants to use Kiddie, right? And Kiddie Kredit has always been phase one of our journey. The parent company is Leaping Hearts, to play on my last name, but we want to extend that conversation, right? Like we want to own the journey from like the moment you are like able to sweep a floor or do
Right.
some form of chore to the moment that you're like, getting prepped for adulthood, or your first credit card for that matter, and then just be able to create an experience like end to end in that space. So I think you'll see us start to, take steps towards that older space.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, tell the people how to get in touch with you, Evan.
Sure, man. So you could reach me personally at Evan Leaphart on Instagram. I'm not on there too much, or Twitter, Twitter and LinkedIn. You'll find me most, and then Kiddie Kredit it's at Kiddie credit with a K. And you can find me there on Instagram or Twitter as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Evan. I am extremely proud to watch your journey to the point where I call Evan for advice, and he always has answers for me. So I really, really, really do appreciate you. I wish you the best. And at some point, we got to collaborate. I know
Yes, sir.
we'll figure that part out. We still maneuvering through the minutia, but we'll figure that part out as well.
I'm gonna add something. Anybody that's listening, but if you're watching, I'm gonna take credit for this, man. Brian is doing this with the bar behind him, and we talked about the bar behind him. So I'm happy to see that. That's all I'm gonna say.
See, I told you, I listen,
Yeah.
man. Listen, bright minds, man. You got to listen to them. But anyway, thank you, Evan, man. I appreciate you, brother. And you take care.
Yes, sir. You too, bro.
Okay. So that was Evan Leaphart. Brilliant, brilliant mind. Kiddie Kredit, go download the app. That's my guy. He is on fire, doing amazing things. Have a partnership with Equifax. He's killing it. And like I said, he's now a mentor to me. I call him, I'm like, Evan, how do you do this? How do you do that? And he always has an answer for me. So I really, really appreciate him, and I wish him the best. But anyway, y'all, I got to get back to interviewing. Trying to find that CMO, and I got some rock stars, man. People are really, really, really impressing me, and I'm excited. But now's the hard part. How do I decide who to pick? And I'm just going to follow my process. I talked about this on the last show about creating those system and processes, and then I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray and meditate and make sure I do everything right to try to get the right person. But ultimately, I want someone to come in, work alongside me, really, really take what I've created with me and the team and put together and help us take it to the next level. So anyway, I'm about to get out of here. Before you go, get the I'm Good shirt. The link is in the description from the good folks at BBT Apparel, which is me. But yeah, I'm out of here, y'all. I wish y'all have an amazing day. Thank you again, Evan. Definitely find him on social media and go download Kiddie Kredit. So I'm out, y'all. Peace.